the audience of none at the moment. Hello, YouTube. So yeah, streaming again today. Going to be continuing with the Phorid flies. I was working on the Phorid flies this morning, and I stopped and thought I may as well stream this. So here we are, looking at the Phorid flies again. So yeah, there's still lots to do with the Phorid flies. We're not yet ready to test them out in levels or anything like that. We did very well yesterday with it, but there's much more to come. So yeah, we're gonna be working on Phorid flies a bit today, and then we'll once we've got them to a point we're happy with them, we'll try to get them in the levels. I very much doubt we'll get to that point today, because today we're going to need to do. We're going to need to do quite a lot of work on things. Hi, Raptor. Good to have you back with us. Ah, an expert archer as well. Excellent. 2 people back here. So yeah, we're just going to begin. We're going to begin straight away. Jump in with the continued Phorid fly work. But the first thing I actually need to do is in C++. So I wrote a couple of things down yesterday. So which is the death sentence effect and the ability to search for an effect on a creature. So there's two things there that we can get going straight away. Okay. So, jumping in to Visual Studio to start with. Sorry, hang on. That's too big. Let me sort this out. There we go. Thought the next stream was going to be on Thursday. So did I. However, I was working on the Phorid flies this morning, and I just thought I may as well stream it. So here we are. It's probably not going to be a particularly long stream, but I'm just going to keep working on it. Okay. So I need to check out creature. I think it's just creature I need to work on. Okay, I want to add a basic function in to find effects to start with. So we'll do that. Yeah, it's no problem. And I will be here. I will be here next tomorrow as well. This isn't an instead of. Okay. So I'm going to check the H file. So that's apply effect. I know there's yeah, so this has AI effect here. and highest priority effect, I think. So here I'm going to create a function, and we'll call it, it's just going to be a Boolean. It's going to return true or false, and it's going to be, it's just going to be called do I have effect? So it's literally just checking for a very specific effect. Yeah, okay. Rightio, Archer. Do I have? So we're checking for a specific effect. So we're not actually going to pass an effect in. We're going to pass an F name in. It's going to be check. It's going to have similarities to the above one. So I'm just going to copy that. Rightio, Jason. We've got a Jason and we've got an Alex. So we're going through the effects, and we're going to look at the effect here. I think it's called name. Have a quick look. No, they're just types of effect. That's eCreature effect. So it's called Doesn't look like the. Hang on, no, here it is. Effect name. There. Cool. So we're literally just checking to see if the name is the same. Right, I don't need to do this on multiple lines. Keep this simple. So it cycles through all the effects. If the effect name is equal to that name, it returns true, else it will return false at the end. Okay, that was easy enough. Who runs the Facebook of Slug Disco? That would be Mike. Mike is sometimes in the Twitch chat as well, but I don't think he is at the minute. I mean, we all have access to it, so we all... I do check the notifications and such that go on there every now and then. But it's mostly Mike that looks after the social media aspects of the Slug Disco stuff. Okay, so that's done. We're going to... Next, we need to look into. Okay, so I believe there's so there's an effect called execute. I think I'm going to create a new one for death sentence, because execute actually kills it immediately as soon as it's found. So we're going to have to check out EOTU damage types. So I'll do that now. 1 second. Okay. And we're just going to create one called death sentence. Let me just double check. Yeah, cool. Okay, so what death sentence is going to do is it's just going to be on a timer, and when it hits 0, it's going to kill the creature. So unlike execute, which kills it immediately, death sentence is on a timer. Okay, so this is going to act it in a similar way to other things. Yeah, we're not really I think you get an automated message when you message the Facebook. I mean, if you want to get in touch, if it's a game related question that you want to get in touch with us about, it's usually best to ask the forums, because usually they've been answered before. So I'd always advise posting on either the Steam forum or our game forum, just because often it's been answered before and the community can answer the question. If it's because you've got a bug or something in the game or a crash and you want to report it, it's best to email crash@slugdisco.com, and that'll or go on the forums and the stuff about that. Yeah, you're more likely to get replies that are to do with bugs and things. But if it's like a question like, is this creature going to be in the game? Is this, then that and the other? Those sort of questions are better for the forums, because it promotes discussion about the question rather than it just being an isolated thing that no one else can join in with. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we've got to put in the code for the death sentence. So in creature. So all these things are just effects that apply, and it's a similar sort of effect. So I'm going to put it here. However, it's got to be handled differently in. So let's have a look for where damage reduction is handled. Okay, so this is damage reduction ticking off. So essentially, I think this one is a bit of a unique. Needs to be handled a bit unique. similar to this, although in truth, so when it does this, it's going to remove the effect, but it's also going to kill the creature. I'm going to put a comment here. Oh yeah, you're working on your book, aren't you? Yeah, I mean, even things like, and unless you want to keep it private for a while, I mean, you might want to consider opening a thread up on the forum about the book, just to see what other people think. Maybe other people can help you with your research on it. It's all up to you. Okay. Will the creature that's affected die slower because of the different health levels? No, there's not. Health levels don't come into it. It's a death sentence will just kill any creature after the timer's ticked off. So that should be done, I think. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to let the project build. Well, whilst it's building, I'm going to get a coffee. Yeah, I can run an ad break apparently. Never done that before. I've activated. I had a look and I've activated subscriptions now. Not really sure what that's going to do to anything, if anything. Not that it matters. It's just an experiment. So whilst that's building, I'm going to go get a coffee. Yeah, I remember the family life when you only had the one PC. Do you remember how that worked? Okay, I'm gonna get coffee. I'm gonna run this ad break just to see how it works. Right, back in a sec. Right, how's it doing? Still lots of yeah, I noticed it's been the Iron Banner thing has been around really quickly. I mean, I've been trying to grind out Randy's throwing knife in momentum control. But yeah, I need to do Iron Banner as well. Okay, so let's whilst this is building, I'm gonna have a quick discussion about what basically what I wrote down about the Phorid flies. Okay, so I've got essentially a list of things that have that's the idea their implementation and how the player is expected to play around them. So I'll just go through this list. So they infest certain harvest sites at various points in the level, and this will be set up by me. So we'll design it so harvest sites are infested at certain points. So basically, there's always options, but at the same time, you could tackle one if you wanted. So they're going to sit on the leaves of plants, similar to the leaf hoppers. I'm also thinking of putting them on the floor as well. So maybe it will just get when one spawns, we just get a location which is either on a plant or on the floor. We just grab locations which is decided as that creature's home. But when ants are nearby, they'll all take off. So not all instantly at the same time. They'll kind of stagger themselves. So one will take off, then another, until essentially there's a swarm of these things flying around in the air, and it should be really obvious that you've triggered one of the sites. Some flies are set to attack. So this is something I haven't implemented yet, but I intend to. Some are set up to attack any nearby creatures, any nearby ant, and others are set up to only attack when the ant is carrying a leaf. So basically, you won't necessarily get attacked on the way there. Well, you will, but some of them will attack on the way there, and some will attack as you're leaving. I'm not sure whether I want to do it so the ants themselves are the flies themselves are the things that are kind of always set to either attack on the way there or on the way back, or whether the point itself, the thing that's controlling the whole thing, whether that decides, okay, the next one is going. So we're going to send half of them out to attack them on the way there, half of them on the way back. Probably that, because I'd rather not strictly set them as one or the other. So every few seconds, the attack point. This will be what we're looking at next. After I've got the death sentence thing working, but every few seconds, the attack point will be. It will look to see if there's any ants to attack, and then try and send one out. So they're not all going to attack at the same time. They will start attacking at different times, so it should look fairly organic. When being attacked, if the ants are holding nothing, they have no chance to defend. If they have a chance to defend, so when they get attacked, there's a dice roll, and if the ants succeed, they'll fend off the Phorid fly. So if they successfully defend, the flies will leave and despawn. If you carry a leaf you can't defend, a successful attack will lead to the ant's stats being reduced for 2 minutes. I think what we've determined that is movement speed, animation speed, so attack animation speed, and the death sentence as well. So, but after the 2 minutes, the ant dies and a fly flies off from where the ant was. So at level 3, Medea and Mages get ants. They get minims riding their back. And they'll defend for them. I think it'll be 100% defense chance at that point, so there won't be any risk. But you do need to think about what you're sending where. Also, something I haven't written down here. If ants leave area before attack has happened, flies do not chase. So basically, if you trigger the flies, you've got the opportunity to leave the area if you're not prepared for it. So you can spot. So say you didn't spot there were flies there, and you send all your ants over there. The flies will take off and be buzzing around the sky. That gives you an amount of time during which the ants can defend them. During which the ants can get out of there. So yeah, that's how the implementation will work. And you play around it by avoiding the attack, initially avoiding the sites. As you level up your ants, you can use them to clear out sites at level 3 because they've got the defense mechanic with a minim on their back. You can also just choose to take losses when you attack, etc., etc. Right, we're back in the game. Okay, so let's get back to my test level. I also need to work on the Firefly's injection mechanic. With the two new things added in, we need to sort that out. Okay, So where are we? Fireflies should be here somewhere. Okay, so I believe there's just a function on them called inject. Although it might be, I think it's part of the AI thinking about it. Yeah, there he is. Death sentence. So there we are, 2-minute death sentence. Now, I do want to add a special effect to this. I'm thinking like a black cloud. I think that would be a nice one as the death sentence graphic. So like a black cloud, like much like the green cloud with poison. But before anything else, I'm going to change the death sentence to last 5 seconds, and I'm going to test it just to make sure it actually works. So there's our firefly buzzing around. It's gone over here. Take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay, so we will do the fly flying off from its corpse as well at some point. I'll write that down, in fact. But I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay, so I'm going to put that up to 120 again. And we also need to add in the check here to see that... what was it? Do I have effect? I think it was along those lines. Effect name. Firefly death. So we'll call that one. So where's the check? Okay, hang on. Doesn't look like it's in here. It's because it's not part of this. It's part of the target acquisition thing. I can't remember exactly where it was. Might be in decide. Yeah, looks like it's here. So basically, if the creature's already got the effect, it will clear its attack target rather than actually attacking it. I mean, it's not going to be the only systems we've got in place to make sure that that's the case, but okay. So basically what we should notice now is that after injecting the target, it no longer goes back to the target because it notices that its target's already got death sentence and ignores it. Okay, then that's all right. Seems to work fine. Okay, so we also need to think about escaping and going home again. Two aspects we haven't looked at yet. Also spawning and all that jazz. Okay, so we're gonna go back to looking at this, which is the Phorid fly spawner. Okay, so this is actually spawning the flies. So if spawn timer is less than 0, okay, so I'm going to say you probably don't want one spawning more than every 5 seconds. So what I'm going to do is put 7.5 is 5 between a random number between 5 and 10. And we'll see how it feels. So if it's less than 0, we go over here, else. Else we'll reduce the timer. Okay, so when timer hits 0, we see if there's any flies to spawn. If there is, we spawn one. Okay, something to think about. If we spawn a Phorid fly, we're gonna want we know we need to give it a home location. I suppose I can have the home location passed in at spawn. But expose it on spawn. There we are. Okay, so we need to get home location. Now these are only going to actually happen on the surface, but at the moment I'm going to shove a plant underground. Those things are big. And from this plant, we're going to get certain locations that they're allowed to spawn on. One second, I just need to look up. I was speaking to Matt about this earlier today. Oh, he didn't tell me. I either need to get the locations of the leaf hoppers land, Oh, station point. Maybe that's what I need. Okay, well, let's first of all there's my spawner. I'm going to need to do a search nearby. For the actors, but for now I'm just going to grab all actors of class because I can just do this to test it. So Mystery Plank 1 is what it's called. What did I say I was looking at on Mystery Plank 1? It was something like station points. Get all station points. That's just an array of names. Hang on. Static climbable. Right. I might actually need to check the C++ for this. Unfortunately, it looks like what I need isn't particularly exposed. Okay. Okay, so it's sockets. So I might actually just be able to get the socket. That might do it. See if that returns anything. It might do. So we're just literally going to print out the locations. For now, at least. Apparently, Matt says there's something called get random perch point. Ooh. That might just do the trick. Looks like we might need to do a check. Okay, we're going to return a transform instead. As Matt reckons, we'll need the rotation in order for it to look right. He's probably right. Don't want the flies sitting with their asses in the leaves. They want to be rotated to them. We will complicate, do some more complicated stuff with the get landing location. I think we need to change that. If we need, instead of a home location, it should be home transform. Home transform. Yeah. Okay. So the spawner, this is home transform. Its spawn location needs to be basically directly above so it's 800 in the sky. So that should be fine. You're right, Jason. Good to have you back. I think because we're streaming so early in the day on a Wednesday, it's very quiet around here. Most people, I think, aren't around for morning streams. It's probably like middle of the night in America now. Okay, so we're spawning the firefly, giving it a home location. We also, in the fireflies, I will expose the spawner on spawn. Yep, always good to answer your girlfriend's call. Refresh that node. Spawner this. We might need to do some more stuff with it. I think that's okay for now. So it's going to spawn it in the sky. As soon as it does, I need to look at the Firefly's AI now. And also it's Blackboard. Just trying to think about default. I don't know what it actually starts off as in default. But I guess My guess is it'll be return home. No, leafcutters are actually they purely eat the fungus generated by leaves. There's no other food source leafcutters will consume. So no, not honeydew is not available for leafcutters, even in free play. Leafcutters are going to play quite differently in free play to what you're used to. Because of the nature of them, they have to go out and forage. Food can't come to you as leafcutters at all. So you have to go out and forage. So in order to grow your colony, you are going to need to keep pushing out of your nest. So it should be quite a fun experience, I think, leafcutters in free play. Okay, so I need to put the programming in for Phorid flies heading to their home. So we need to check whether it's close enough to home location. Well, let's just check what the Phorid fly state is actually in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to speak to the spawner. Spawn flies. I'm going to try and spawn 3 flies and we'll see what happens. Okay, it's doing something. Oh, it's sort of a crash. It's an Unreal Engine crash. I think it's one that I can just skip over though. It's to do with the blueprint pin, but no, it's fine. One second. Sorry about that. Right. If we get army ants, they'll be quite up. Yeah, I think with the army ants, because the way they behave in nature, because they don't have an underground nest as such, they have like a temporary nest they set up, um, with their own bodies, and then they go out and forage from there. So I think what I want to do with the army ants is create a specific level for them, because they are really powerful. Um, so rather than have them interact with the rest of with other aspects of the game, create a special level for them where instead of building a nest, you're sending army ants out. I've got some ideas for it, but I want to think about it a bit more before I talk about anything, or before we come up with ideas on that front. Okay, so I'm going to try there and spawn 3 flies. Give that a go, see what happens. Okay, so that's the original fly. Okay. Okay, I can see. Yeah, I can see some flies. Okay, so they've spawned like where I said 800 above the starting location for them, and they're all different heights because they've all got different starting locations on the leaf. So that's actually worked pretty well. Although it's kept spawning them. So much for oh, you know why it's kept spawning them. It's because I haven't I didn't remove one from the quantity. So there's the spawning in. So what we need to do is flies to spawn. Decrement. So I want to see where the flies are in their behavior tree. I'm going to delete the starting fly so we don't have that to worry about. The fly that we've been working with so far. Okay, so one spawned there. There's another one. Okay. Oh, you know, I haven't spawned their AI controller. You just run this spawn default controller. There we go. Okay. So it looks like it's set to return home. Okay. So we need something to check here. So that's, do I have a target? Here we need, am I at home? So let's copy that. Firefly, I at home. So all this is going to do is going to do a very quick check. To see if the firefly is at home. No. So if it's close to it, so if it's equal to that, it's true. If it's not equal to that, it's false. Okay, that's fine. So if it's not at home, we do that. If it is at home, we do this. Here we're also going to set its location and rotation to its home location. And here we're going to, I'll duplicate, target home. Next stream will be tomorrow. We'll be streaming a bit later tomorrow than we are today. This stream's not got long left on it. I think it's only going to be a short stream today. It's just an extra one. But I think the plan is to. So I'll probably end this stream in about 15 minutes. And then tomorrow we'll start up a little bit. We'll start up later in the day and go a bit later. Oh, is it PF target home? So need a random point or anything. Literally needs to just target home. Then I think we'll just wait. We'll wait for a longer period of time here, although it should only take it a couple of seconds. Okay, so we've also got the land on arrival ticked. I'm just going to check that. So when it takes off, it sets that land at move end, but also ticks in flight. So I believe essentially when we get to the move's end, which is here, if it's not targeting, hang on, all it is land at move end. If that's true, then in flight is set to false and land that moves end is also set to false. Okay. We'll see what that does. Hang on one sec. That's what we mean to do. Okay. Okay, so what this should do, yeah, I'm thinking this will present an interesting challenge for them. It'll also be a bit different. I mean, it has sort of similarities to the beach tiger beetle larvae, as in that it's kind of making a specific area hard to access, but at the same time, dealing with it's quite different. Okay, so there we got a Phorid fly landing there. There's a bit more I want to do with the landing, so there should be 3 in total. Okay, there we are, we've got all 3 there. And now when I press this one, they should all take off. Okay, for a start, 4th has landed. Oh no, oh yeah, of course, yeah, sorry. Instead, that has just spawned another 3. We'll get back to that in a second. Because I detached what right bracket would do. Left bracket does take fright. Okay. Try again. So right bracket should spawn them. One. I need to give them a random yaw on spawn. Oh no, hang on. The yore's been taken from the plant, is it? Or are they all the same yore? They all look the same yore to me, so I need to look into that. Okay, so now press this. That should be take flight. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's looking good. Will we get the ability that we can use at any time? Have a longer cooldown, like reinforcement. Those abilities, we were thinking of them at one point, and that's what the whistle icon was for. But I think we've decided against them. I think we decided that we don't need them. Okay, so there's 3. Let's. I want to see what it looks like with a lot more than 3. Let's go with. I think 30 would be a difficult level, a difficult area. So you're probably around on insane mode with 30 in an area. But I'll give them an opportunity to spawn in. Because they'll take a while to spawn 30. I'm back in a second. Right then. Okay. I think we've decided against using abilities, having abilities that are that you can like castable abilities. It was something we were considering at one point, but I think we've decided against it. Okay, so pressing that, they should take off. Okay, I think I need to put a max speed on them as well. Because at the moment they're taking exactly the same amount of time to travel anywhere. In spite of... in spite of the speed. But there we have a swarm of Phorid flies. Some of them are at funny angles because they've the angle that they're at has been decided when they were spawned, so we need to deal with that. So basically, once they've taken off, they need to write themselves to a specific yaw and pitch. Not yaw, specific roll and pitch. The yaw can be decided still by their direction of travel. We need to deal with the attacking sequence as well, because we did the basics of it, but I'm thinking when one is given an attack target, it should probably give you a good 5-10 seconds before it actually attacks it. So it's hovering around the target for 5 seconds or so. So you've got a little bit of time to do something about it. I think there's more I can do as well to make the flight look better. So the whizzing around and stopping is good, but I think it needs a bit more work. Maybe limit the distance it can jump in each flight as well, so they're not going right the way across the map. I mean, right the way across their box. Okay. Right. That's going to do for the stream for today. I'll be back tomorrow. A bit later on, so look for me after lunch. We'll be continuing this. I don't know how far I'll have gotten by tomorrow afternoon, but hopefully, if not tomorrow, then next week we should be able to get on to actually adding these into the game. So adding them into the leafcutter levels. Sorry, Mr. Tank. It's a bit of a shorter stream today, but I'll be back on tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for joining. And I will see you next time. See you tomorrow, hopefully.